blurt out words, I want to read something. Um, James 3, verse 19. You say you have faith, for you believe that there is one God. Good for you. Even demons believe this, and they tremble in terror. How foolish. Can't you see that faith without good deeds is useless? So, I was raised Baptist, and at 13, I was raised by my grandparents. At 13, they sent me to Christian camp, and what it seemed to be forced salvation because it was like everybody had to do it. But like I say, throughout my life as a teenager, it seemed like every other day I was at church. So, but I met my high school sweetheart, which ended up being my first wife and with my children, and I always forced religion on her because she was Catholic and I was Baptist, Christian. And she always told me I was a fool, that I didn't know what I was talking about. So it kind of got bitter to where I never just brought it up ever again. Well, through our first stages of marriage, I worked construction. I worked in DC a lot and developed a drug habit and was addicted to cocaine. And because of my habit, to feed my habit, I became a drug dealer and did terrible things to people. My own community, I was selling drugs to and destroying families and didn't even know it, didn't even care. I didn't know. And I truly fell away from Christ. Everything was a wreck. I lost everything because of my addiction. My marriage, relationship with my children, home, cars, license, everything you imagined it, you worked hard for, got stripped from me. Well, in a dark, dark place I was for 10 years. And I eventually met this wonderful woman one night at a bar. And as we started dating, she introduced me to this lady, Mary Ann, with Broken No More Ministries. And at that point, I had to learn and give my heart up to Christ and forgive myself, many people, because there's a lot of things that destroyed me in my heart and my mind. And the biggest part was to forgive myself for all the damage, all the sin and evilness that I've done. And it took 3 boot camps for me to really rededicate my life to Christ, to like truly, truly ask for forgiveness of my sin. I mean, it was truly a weight lifted off of me. I've been carrying around tons of heaviness on my shoulders for 30 years. And when I call it release. When I truly found release and it felt the weight was lifted, but then there was these hands, they were holding me. They wouldn't let me fall anymore. And I praise God that I truly trust in him that he will never let me fall again. And that's who I am today. And everything that happens, good or bad, in my life to date, I praise God for. I praise Jesus. I thank him for it. Even if it's good or bad, I thank him for everything. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be standing right here talking to you. So thank you for your time.
Hey, Mike,
Yes.
when you say you struggle to forgive yourself, do you think it's really, you know with your head that God has forgiven you, but you haven't really
Because
received God's forgiveness?
right. Because I was very shameful. I had lots of shame, and I had to become humble and like truly forgive myself for all the hurt that I had caused. You know, I mean, I destroyed families. I destroyed my own family. I mean, and there was hatred towards me because of it from family members.
And Mike, not to keep you up there, but
Yeah.
isn't there a happy
Yes, actually, because of my evilness and losing everything, she had to move back in with her dad, and she was broken. And she went to her aunt that was Christian, and she got saved. And she called me the day after, and she said, "I want to thank you." I said, "For what?" I'm thinking like, "What did I did something good?" But and she said, "No, because of you and your faith, even your downfall brought me to Jesus, and I want to thank you for that." I'm like, and of course, I'm a very emotional person, and I cry like a baby because I was praising God at that point. I'm like, it's the one thing in the very beginning that I wanted for her happened because of tragedy, and in which brought my children because she raised our kids Christian. My son's struggling a little bit, but he's 22. He thinks he knows everything, but but my daughter, she saved, she got baptized, which is wonderful. I don't think I've ever cried so hard in my entire life watching my 13-year-old daughter get baptized. And but yeah, good things can come through evil, and that's very important.
Based on based on your journey and everything you've been through, what what now brings you the greatest joy, and what how do you feel like God can use you best going forward? What brings you the greatest joy, and how can God use you best based on everything you've been through?
Well, Marianne, which is Broken in the Morning Ministries, always tells the group that Mike's going to participate. She makes me participate every time I go. I mean, I'm supposed to be like, support, but she's like, no, you're gonna share today. Just participate because I mean, you got people that come in from all different aspects of brokenness, like, and I can relate to all of it because certain things has happened to me that some people don't want to speak at first. They want to, like, let go. And if I feel something that's a topic, and I'll tell a story. And my gratification for Christ is be able to share and relate to people that are broken and give them encouragement that there is a better place, and that's Jesus. So